Up in the ring, you see Barry Windham and his manager, James J. Dillon, as this is the final event for the tournament tonight here at the Sam Houston Coliseum. The winner of this match will be the new U.S. heavyweight champion. And the reason why James J. Dillon is so anxious to get this match underway is that we've gotten word from the dressing room as they're still working on the leg of Nikita Koloff. He injured his leg in his match against Al Perez. He won the match. He advanced in the tournament. He advanced to the final to face Barry Windham. But the leg injury is still there, Paul. And the question is now, can Koloff wrestle this matchup against Barry Windham?
Yes, and the people are looking up the aisle and waiting for him to come down. You see him now, and he is limping his way down to the ring. There was doubt whether he would be able to come, but he is evidently going to make it right up into that ring, and he's got enough fire in him to be able to fight off the efforts of Barry Windham. But will that leg stand up? And that's going to be the crucial point. You see the people reaching out to him and urging him to get in there and to take care of...
Ladies and gentlemen, this event will be the finals of the United States Heavyweight Tournament. One fall to a finish for the United States Heavyweight title. Introducing first the leader of the Four Horsemen, James J. Dillon. And he has brought to the ring the newest horseman, Barry Windham. And introducing in the corner to my left, from the Soviet Union, Nikita Koloff.
So Nikita Koloff, he had all the reason in the world not to step inside the ring. He has an injured leg, but sheer determination. And for the last few minutes, we've been trying to get word from the dressing room as whether he'll be able to make it. And he answered the questions by coming down the aisle. He's got that knee wrapped up and heavily bandaged, Paul, but you know Barry Windham is got his eyes set on that injured left leg of Nikita Koloff.
Of course, that leaves a lot of Koloff unattended. If he focuses on that leg entirely, Pete, he may make that mistake, and if he does, he's liable to fall into the trap of the Russian. But in this case, it looks like a confident Barry Windham. There's been a lot of action tonight in the battle for the top spot. This is the top spot. This is the final event of the one-night tournament to fill the vacant United States title. And Windham and Nikita Koloff are the pair.
Bell sounds, one fall, 30-minute time limit.
One fall to a finish, Pete. I think that the final event has been changed to one fall to a finish.
And as Nikita Koloff now eyeing over Barry Windham, as Barry keeps shooting up for that leg, and you see Koloff trying to protect that left leg. Nikita Koloff knows that Barry Windham, now a member of the famous Four Horsemen, he will stop at nothing short of victory. And that includes James J. Dillon cheering him on from outside the ring. Remember, the Four Horsemen currently hold the World Tag Team titles. They currently hold the World's Heavyweight title, and they want Barry Windham to walk away with the U.S. Heavyweight title so they can claim they have all the gold.
Yes, and he almost walked away with a broken jaw that time because Koloff is evidently looking to use that power of his, and he has long been noted as a rough and rugged wrestler, but he was covering the fact that he wrestles and wrestles well when he's deprived or doesn't want to use that. He's a good wrestler, and Barry Windham's going to find out that he's also a big man as Barry is. But I look for Nikita to pull a surprise.
Nikita Koloff, of course, one half of the superpowers. His other half, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, who is the former U.S. Heavyweight Champion. And we must always keep in mind that Dusty Rhodes never lost the U.S. title inside the ring. He was stripped from him on disciplinary action by the board of directors of the NWA, and not a popular decision, not a unanimous decision, but nevertheless, Dusty Rhodes had to forfeit the U.S. Heavyweight title. The one-night tournament, the whole nation focused on Houston, Texas tonight right here in the Sam Houston Coliseum, and Barry Windham going after that left leg. He wants that title. He wants to become a member of the Four Horsemen in grandstanding with a belt of his own.
Yes, and while you said the nation is focused on Houston, Texas tonight, you can see that Barry Windham is focusing on that leg and trying to make the most of it. It's a tough thing when you don't have your underpinnings under you the way they should be. Balance is affected, your ability to move and take the hold that you want is affected. And a body slam like this, you've got to protect the leg on the way down, because if you fall on it, you're going to be putting yourself out of action.
Barry now trying to get that figure four leg lock, and if he can snap that figure four leg lock on, the Russian Koloff will be in serious trouble, because that leg is already hurting, and the figure four leg lock, a vicious hold, as Barry is one of the best in applying that hold. And he stays after that left leg. Barry Windham, James J. Dillon, they argued with the wrestling officials. They wanted the match to start right away. Nikita Koloff was given every single moment allowed by tournament rules, but when the time came, he had to step in the ring regardless of what injury he had sustained during the action. And Barry Windham using that ring post now, Paul, to work over that left leg.
That is a vicious thing to do, and I want to tell you, it completely seems out of character for a man that the people were solidly behind up until a short time ago, when he evidently decided that money was better than cheers and decided to go after the fame of being in the Four Horsemen. But Windham here is rapidly putting the fans of Houston completely and totally against him. But they are hoping that Koloff is going to come through with what they're looking for. This is another vicious move, and you see that leg breaker used. He bent that leg and then dropped it right on his knee, and we here had those two knees meeting with a real crunch.
Thousands and thousands of Houston wrestling fans filled the Coliseum tonight. They came to see a quick look at this tournament. They also wanted to see a look at Barry Windham. They saw on national TV how he turned on his partner Lex Luger, causing Lex Luger and himself to lose the World Tag Team titles back to Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. They were shocked, they were stunned, and I think the fans here in the Coliseum are still stunned tonight, Paul. They were hoping to see Barry Windham back to his old Barry Windham, but when he came down the aisle, the first match of the tournament with James J. Dillon and his side, fans now starting to realize that Barry Windham is now a member of the Four Horsemen.
He's not only a member, but he's going to be an integral part if he can get that U.S. title belt around his middle. The Russian would like it, of course. Everybody would like to see him get it. But you can't get by a boy like Windham unless you've got the strength and power and all of your faculties. That foot came up. It caught him well. It was the good leg that came up and did the kicking. And if he can corner him, he might have it. And there was one that laid him low and in beautiful fashion. And Koloff, of course, took a complete burst of enthusiasm from that fact. Doesn't take much to change when you've got a bad leg like that. Just losing the assurance of your balance leaves an opening.
Barry now taking over on Koloff, and Koloff is putting up a gallant fight. But keep in mind, Koloff is an explosive wrestler. All he needs is that one quick opening, that one quick opportunity, and he can capitalize, and he can defeat Barry Windham. So Barry knows this. James J. Dillon knows this, and they want to keep the pressure on. Look how they wrap up that leg and trying to cause Nikita Koloff to call it quits. Barry Windham wants that U.S. heavyweight title. So does James J. Dillon. He wants it as part of the stable of the Four Horsemen. And Nikita Koloff, a proven champion through the years, is fighting on sheer determination.
Well, with a bar toe hold like that, he's got the one leg, the right, left, I get my rights and my lefts mixed up still, Pete. I told you a long time ago I couldn't tell right from left. But right now I could see that he had that leg in place to try to pop the knee joint if he possibly could. A dangerous hold. He's going in there now for the spinning toe hold, the figure four leg lock that is used by a number of wrestlers effectively, and he's got it on there.
He snapped it on, and Koloff now has got to find a way out of this hold, and quickly. The referee counting the shoulders, and we nearly had the pinfall right there. Barry Windham nearly became the new U.S. heavyweight champion, but Koloff regained consciousness quick enough to bring those shoulders up. When you're in that much pain, sometimes you lose track of the fact that your shoulders are against the mat, and sometimes you can be counted down. And Tommy Young goes to count again, and Koloff back up just in time, and Koloff is taking a lot of punishment. Most wrestlers would have quit by now, especially when they had a leg injury, but Koloff has that intestinal fortitude to hang in there.
Well, you see that Barry Windham has dropped back there in order to get more pressure on that leg. He has used every inch of the area and also reached out there surreptitiously to grab the hand of James J. Dillon. So the legs are tied up. They're both tied up, but the man in pain is Nikita Koloff. and he is trying to withstand it. He may reach that point where pain doesn't matter to him, but that is a bad place to be. The legs are wrapped around each other in a way that can hurt either man's leg if the pressure should be able to be reversed. And I'm not saying that he can do it, but Koloff is probably thinking about it. And his second thought is to get to that rope and crawl out underneath that rope if he can make it. If he can turn him over, he's going to be able to reverse that hold and do it properly. And you can see now, as he gets a little bit of leverage, that he is turning him loose. And Windham has lost the effectiveness of his hold. His leg underneath is all that's stopping him, but he's turned now, and the strength belongs to Nikita Koloff. He's able to use his good leg more than he is able to use his bad one. And now, Pete, if he had been able to hold that, I think we would have had the end of this match, but I don't think we've got it now.
Nikita Koloff looking one more time for that opportunity. And you saw James J. Dillon just a few moments before. He knows that he had Barry Windham, his man, had Koloff down on the mat in that figure four, and James J. Dillon may have caught himself counting the eggs before they hatched. And Nikita Koloff, a sheer determination. Not only did he not quit, but he reversed that figure four, but the match is continuing, and that's what Koloff has got to face right now. Barry Windham stays after him. He's got the Russian Bear down on the mat, and now Barry, as he looks for those ropes, as a big man and coming off those ropes, he can sometimes land that final blow, that final kick, whatever it takes, and it's going to take quite a bit to keep Koloff down, and he missed. He came flying halfway across the ring, and Koloff saw Barry flying at him and got out of the way.
Well, if you call biting off more than you can chew or leaping off for more than you can jump, that was what took place right then and there. He wanted to land on the leg. He wanted to land with that on the knee with that forearm, but it didn't work. And now, as they stand up there and battle, Nikita has a 50-50 chance. His legs seem to have improved just a little bit there, and that's the way with those things. They slip out, they slip back in, and if you can keep it in long enough, you can work him over as he's doing right now.
Well, Koloff was waiting for that opening, and he just had it when Barry Windham flew across the ring and missed. And Koloff, as a competitor, he knows if he takes the battle to him, that opening, that one stroke of good luck, and Koloff's on top. And we almost had it as Koloff quickly covered Barry, and Barry almost wasted too much time and almost didn't get out in time.
Yes, a little bit too confident. He was overconfident when he climbed up on that rope. He wasn't even sure that he could make that distance, but he decided that once he had gone up there, he was going to take the chance. But did you see that flying headbutt that the Russian gave him? And look at James J. Dillon on the outside, and James J. Dillon is the menace in this particular battle. Barry Windham is declared the winner, but
seconds. The winner of the match and the new United States heavyweight champion, Barry Windham.
Well, we saw Koloff as he lifted Barry Windham to bring him back into the ring. That left leg gave way, and you couldn't tell it was from the injury or James J. Dillon grabbed it. But one thing for certain, we know that when the count came down, James J. Dillon had that left leg. The count should have been stopped, and Koloff's complaint right now. And the controversy rages on here at the Coliseum, but nevertheless, going up the aisle, Barry Windham, the new U.S. heavyweight champion, and the thousands of fans here in the Coliseum don't agree with it. They don't agree that he beat Koloff, and they don't agree with his joining up with the Four Horsemen. We'll be back in just one moment.